Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Girl Gone Crypto. I am so stoked to have you on the show today, Tim, also known as BTC Weatherman and the CEO of Bits and Tokens. So, Tim, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thanks for having me.
So, I have so many fun things that I want to chat about with you today. But to
Oh,
start
cool.
out, I kind of feel like we're like family, even though we've never met because we're both part of the Finally Friday crew.
That's
And
true.
so, tell me, I'm just maybe to start out, I'm really curious to hear the backstory of how that started and what made you guys decide to start the Finally Friday stream in general.
So the super secret background on how that started is me and Rachel are just like super good friends. And so like we're just always talking about stuff and we've always wanted to like work on kind of something together. And we've done like stuff in the past where Bits and Tokens has like filmed some stuff for her and we've just always had a really good working relationship and then like a friendship as well. And so we were talking about like what might be like a good show to do for people, and we came up with the idea to do it on Friday. And then she was like, "Oh, what if we called it Finally Friday?" And like I would just not entertain any other ideas past that. Like it was just I heard the name and I was like, "Run with it right now! Like let's lock down all the socials. Like we need to do this immediately." So yeah, it just kind of happened, and then people really liked it. So here we are.
Yeah, it has gone bananas, which is awesome. Like the Finally
Yeah.
Friday Twitter account has like 3600 followers or something already. I'm like, how did you do that? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
People like it. They really like it. So that's cool. I'm glad that we're able to like expand it more and include like more diverse shows on there.
Yeah, so
So
for those of you watching, if you don't know, so Finally Friday is a stream with Rachel and BTC Weatherman here on all the normal channels that you would, normally look for content. And then the new show that just started last week is Finally Friday on the blockchain, where CryptoFinally and I are streaming exclusively and sharing the video exclusively on decentralized sites like Steem applications and things like that. So yeah, I'm kind of curious how much more she'll expand that. Watch soon, she'll just be like a streaming queen all day on Friday.
that might be the plan. I don't know. That might we might have to work on that.
So, as I mentioned in the kind of intro in the beginning, you are the CEO of Bits and Tokens. So, maybe just
Mhm.
tell us what that is and what you guys are up to over there.
Okay. Yeah. So we're a media company. We specialize in mostly helping blockchain or like tech companies, just because that's kind of where like our personal passions are. But we're a traditional media company. I've got like a shelf full of equipment next to me that you can't see because of the magic of the studio. Um, and so really it kind of started because we were all curious about cryptocurrency and we decided let's do a podcast, right? And then I kind of do this thing where I buy too much stuff. So from a podcast, a week later, it turned into, oh, we have a green screen and lights and a bunch of cameras now. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
guess we're a YouTube channel. And then from there, like I said, I buy too much equipment. So we had like more than enough for us to where like we could actually go out and film for other people too. So we just started doing like little interviews and stuff here and there, and it really blossomed into what we do now, which is like I run live streams for people, and Jerome, one of my business partners, he builds like virtual reality worlds for people.
Oh, wow.
So we do like a lot of stuff. We have like a pretty big footprint in the space, a lot of it behind the scenes. So
Got
it's
it.
been it's
And
been fun.
that's awesome. And I love that you guys have kind of ventured into so many different arenas. And so, with the kind of like creating video content for people, like what does that look like? Do people just reach out to you and say, hey, can you help me work on this project together? Or how would someone like work with you if they were interested in checking that out a little bit more?
Yeah, so personally, I'm not shy. So if you see me in real life or on the internet, you can just always bother me. Never going to be like an issue with that. Or if you want to be super official about it, if you go to bitsandtokens.com, and then you go to our services page, you'll see like a list of all the stuff that we do, a non-exhaustive list because we do I mean, pretty much anything that has to do with a camera or creating something with a computer, like pretty much everything. But there is a service request form where you can fill out like kind of information about your project and who you are and what it is that you might want from us, and one of us will be able to reach back out, figure out how to help you. So.
So tell me a little bit more about what you guys are doing with VR, because that's a pretty cool arena to be kind of dabbling in as well.
Yes. So Jerome is our big VR guy. It's funny, the first time I met him, actually, we used to work together, in the same office. And the first time I met him, he came up and he asked me like some question about like a VR business idea thing. And I was just like, I don't know, we'll see. Come to find out later that it's like a pretty big leg of the business that me and him both are invested in together. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so one of the things that he does is, again, a huge list. But one of the things that he does is for conferences that we attend or that we're involved in, he'll build a world that looks like the conference in VR,
Oh,
so
wow.
that people that aren't physically there can still attend if they have a VR headset or like a laptop or something that can access, those VR worlds. So it's pretty cool. And then that also allows, let's say you're the actual person putting on the conference, that also allows you to do like kind of upsells where instead of just offering booth spaces or like talking spaces to people, you can also offer that in virtual reality as well.
Mm.
So basically, like there's two conferences happening side by side, and then you can also have space in the virtual world to like display your stuff to people. So I don't I don't think anyone's ever done that before and to
Hmm.
this scale. So I think we might be the first people doing that. So shout out to him for coming up with that crazy idea.
That's wild. And I mean, honestly, that's so cool. And I think that being in the crypto space, it's a lot of people, it is high tech in a lot of ways. And so that's a crowd that I could see being like friendly and open to that sort of thing. And like, I could even
Yeah.
see this just going wild for you guys. There's so many crypto conferences already. And then there's also tech conferences and like
Yeah.
so many people. And, more and more people are getting headsets. Like I have the Oculus Quest, which, that was a huge kind of
Oh,
step
neat.
forward in being making it a little bit easier to use and more accessible, I think, for
Yeah,
people. So it'd be interesting to see that kind of all unfold as more and more people start getting headsets and like learning
for
how to use
sure.
them.
Yeah, for sure. And then beyond that, the other VR stuff is, they do meetups in VR now.
Yeah.
So the same way, you would go to, I don't know, like a local pub or wherever, crypto meetups happen, they build like these VR worlds, where like it's kind of like a round table, and then there's like microphones. So there's like four people that come together and like talk about stuff. And there's like a whole stage and like an audience section. It's crazy. And it's all in VR and people just like they love it. So, you know.
It's a crazy world, right?
For sure. For sure.
So one thing I'm curious about, so you are all about owls, and I know nothing about this except that I see emojis all over the place. So what is the backstory, and what is your fascination with owls?
All right, so the backstory is not as interesting as what the owl thing has become now. It's like literally like it's taken over my life now. People will just randomly send me like, "Oh, I never used to see owls. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing them painted on the side of a building and in this movie and here and there." But the backstory is really silly. Like I forget what thread it was on Twitter, but it was some thread about Bitcoin, and I was chatting with some people, and then some guy with an owl emoji, or I'm sorry, an owl Abby, was kind of like being a troll. And so I just kept replying to him, who, like, like owl noises or whatever. And then he didn't get the joke. And so we all like, it was me and like three other people. And we just thought it was so funny that he didn't get the joke. So then we just started doing owl emojis and owl gifs and stuff. And then other people started getting in. And then we talked about it on one of the Finally Friday. I think it might have been the Christmas Finally
Hmm.
Friday. And then I don't know. Rachel just told people like, "Oh, send him a bunch of owls. Like it'll make his Christmas like fun." And it just exploded, and they won't stop now. So this is who I am. This is
That's
who I've
so
become.
funny.
but
Accidental
it's
new identity.
yeah, but it's cool though because like, and now people send me like a picture of an owl, and I'm like, oh wait, I haven't seen that one, and then like I look it up, and it's like, oh, this is a South American crested barn owl, like that's cool, or like, so I'm like learning about this like species of creatures, and it's like pretty cool actually.
Actually,
They're like
owl.
really neat.
They can really eat. Is that what you said?
No, I said that they're really neat. Like they have like I don't know. They can sit cross-legged. Like I don't. There's so many things you wouldn't think like about an owl. Like they're just so cool.
So
So
really amazing creature. And I think what I love about them is in kind of like the spirit animal world, they're like viewed as like wisdom, which I
hmm
think is really cool too. I actually thought of you a few weekends ago. I was traveling and I found, like one of those art pieces that are like wings that like, people can stand in the middle and take a picture.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had an owl one. So I haven't posted that picture yet, but
Ah,
yeah,
what?
I totally
That's so
thought of you.
cool. What? That's so cool. Oh man.
At least I think it's an owl. You'll have to tell me since you're the new in-house expert. It looks like it should be owl
Apparently.
wings.
Oh, don't yell, dog. Don't yell.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
Well, it's not mine, but he's a pit bull. Let me see if I can. No, he's following whoever just walked in with presumably food. Trunks, would you like to? Can I beckon you? Nope. Nope.
Nope.
He,
There's food
he's
over there. That's more
food.
important, right?
Yeah.
So another series
So,
that I've noticed that you have on your YouTube channel, which I think is so fun, is Drunk Crypto, and
oh
I love that. I run a show with my sister on the Steem blockchain where we just drink and we talk about stuff, and it's like literally the best. It's so fun. So I'm just kind of curious. Tell us a little bit
that's
more
fun.
about like your inspiration for doing that and like how that's been going so far.
Okay, so there's another there's like a hip hop show called Drink Champs where I kind of like Drunk Crypto is kind of like an homage to that, if you will, because it's like they do interviews, but the whole purpose of the interview is that both the guests and the hosts are drinking like the whole time, and it's pretty much like their show is kind of like to see who can drink the most or whatever. That's not really what Drunk Crypto is.
Yeah.
Drunk Crypto is just kind of like a soft like replica of that a little bit, where like we just kind of have a good time and it really helps because like sometimes it's like you want to be politically correct and not you know talk about companies that you're just not a fan of, but then sometimes the alcohol flows and you're a little bit more loose with the information that you provide to people. So it's a fun way for me to connect with the audience because sometimes they'll share that they're also drinking as well.
Hmm.
um, and then it just makes it makes the banter just really funny. Sometimes it gets crazy though.
Sometimes it just goes dumpster fire, but for the most part, right? No.
Yeah, yeah, no, but the dumpster fires are so fun though. I don't even try to put them out. They're just so fun.
See, I think that content like that is actually like super valuable to the space as well. Like, obviously, I'm a big fan of like these more like traditional interviews, blah, 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 interviewing CEOs and
Mhm.
doing different things. But I also think that having really just kind of fun, playful, more entertaining content is really important because there's a lot of people that would never sit down and listen to this interview with the CEO of some wallet, but they're like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm kind
for
of
sure.
curious about Bitcoin and there's this thing called Drunk Crypto that sounds fun you know
We try to make it fun. The new tagline is that it's usually drunk and mostly about crypto.
That's
so
so good.
so that absconds me. Like if I happen to not drink that show, it's fine. And then if we veer off, because sometimes we'll talk about just whatever.
Hmm.
I'm not shy to like we've had a guest come on and talk about like conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so I mean it's whatever. I'm actually gonna change up the format soon. Me and you might talk about it, but I'm gonna make them wait. So
Deal.
it's
Little
gonna be
teaser.
cool. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool though. Um, I want to keep it fresh. We came into the new year really strong with a lot of content coming out, but I just want to keep reinventing until we find that perfect formula that everyone loves. So
No, I love that. And I think that's such a cool like mindset to take. I saw Bits and Token had a tweet, I think in the beginning of the year, there was something about like your goal is to do like better quality content more often. And I just
Yes.
loved that. Because yeah,
Hmm.
you've always got to be pushing the edge, trying different things, seeing what works. And I think that's one thing that I'm such a huge fan of with your content is you are always trying new things, experimenting, doing improving, doing, all sorts of stuff. And so for those of you listening, if you aren't following BTC Weatherman, Tim, I'll put all the links below for sure.
Oh,
But
perfect.
Tim, before we leave, is there anything else you want to chat about or any like final closing words you have for people?
No, just I appreciate any of the love that we do get. Even from you, I appreciate you having me on the show. It really means a lot that I started as nobody in this space at all, and then a year-ish later, here we are chatting together and informing people about different things. And I like that we're all connected and working together. So just I guess in closing, just follow all the great content creators out there. There's a lot of them, and they all do a tremendous job in their own right, just pushing forward the good name of Bitcoin and blockchain.
Oh, I
That's it.
love that. Mic drop, right? Awesome. Well, Tim, thank you so much for coming on my show. It's been awesome to chat with you,
Yeah,
and
for
we'll have
sure.
to do this again sometime soon.